Hey guys, thank you for watching. This is Breaking Burke is my channel name, and I've been doing this for about a month, so still kind of new. I don't do any kind of editing, and I am doing it alone, so it might be a little shaky, and I do apologize for any of that in advance. I do focus on gardening, both indoor and outdoor. I have a lot of houseplants and even more plants in my yard. Last year, when the pandemic hit, I really focused on my houseplants because I didn't have a space of dirt in my yard to work with. So, kind of the story. Here you can see I did try filming a video, well, you can't see I tried, but I tried filming a video earlier and it didn't work. So I'm just going to go through and explain what I did and why I did it and why it works for me. So in this raised bed, I don't know if anybody has watched before. If you have, thank you. If you haven't, welcome to my channel. This one here is a raised bed outside my house. I've already grown radishes and snow peas in this. Now, snow peas are a cold weather crop, and in my area have to be planted in the late part of the winter and harvested spring. Mine have already finished their thing. They yellowed and crisped up from the sun. I probably could have gotten away with keeping them a little longer had I put them in a shadier spot, but then they wouldn't have started to grow as quick, and you know, it's a whole ordeal. Either way, we got some food out of this, which is the whole purpose of it. You can see here we do have our popcorn coming up. We have a volunteer petunia. Now this one, you can see it is a tie-dye one, and it's called tie-dye because the color changes with every leaf, or with every flower rather, sorry. That one just has a little tinge of purple at the end, and these ones have little to no purple. Little because that has a little tiny piece there. But the reason I put flowers in my vegetable planter is because the flowers, especially if they're annuals and depending on the variety, are a little more prolific at blooming, and since they do have different color flowers, they attract pollinators as well. So that's one benefit. You do get more pollinators to your plants. More pollinators means more produce, so that's never a bad thing. You can see my squash here in the back is growing at varying stages. They were all planted at the same time, and they were winter sown in this, so they came up when they got warm enough. There's the smallest. Here's the biggest. This one I think is just a green zucchini. You can see, well, maybe you can't. Yeah, right there. There is a flower or a bud with the beginning of a zucchini on it. Here's another one. This one's a yellow one. It looks to me like a straight neck because it's not bent on there. And this one I think is a loofah squash. I did plant birdhouse gourd too on the other side, and I don't think that took. What I did today, I came out here and I added this petunia. You can see it's getting affected by the heat a little. And then I added 3 canna lilies. There's one there. There is one there. And one there. I did start these inside, so I got a little bit of a head start, but I didn't want to bring them out too early and have them freeze, especially in a raised bed. It doesn't keep the heat as normally as the ground does. It is a little bit of fluctuation on it, so you know, you got to keep that in mind. But today I also did plant some cucumbers. I have, let's see, Market More. That one's an heirloom variety. These other ones aren't. These other ones are hybrids. This is a Muncher cucumber. A national pickling. I was trying to say both at the same time, I guess. Dyslexia will get you. And a straight 8 cucumber. So these are all different kinds. They all have different aesthetics. My mom loves to eat cucumbers. She just peels them and chops them up with and eats them with salt, or throws them in a salad for the most part. But we will definitely use them all, and what I won't use, I'll probably put in my free food pantry or ask if anyone wants them. I did plant them all here on the edge where you can see soil. So hopefully they come out and they drape over the front. That's the plan. I don't really like to do any kind of staking because it is windy here very often, and I don't like to hassle with coming out and straightening things or fixing them. Gardening should be fun. It shouldn't be work you don't want to do, and if it is, then you need to figure something out, because I like enjoying time in my garden and with my plants. Here in the front, I did add, again, another loofah sponge on this side, or a loofah seed on this side, and a couple more birdhouse gourd seeds to the other side, so hopefully those will drape the sides as well. The reason I do direct sowing, especially now, is it takes a lot out of these plants to get them used to the sun, especially if you start growing them inside. I've done it several times. I've bought plants from nurseries that are supposed to be hardened off. You know, it always ends up with the same problem in the end. They crisp up in the desert sun. No matter how hard you try and keep it from happening, it does. Or it takes 1 or 2 weeks of shock to rebound. And in that amount of time, normally, you can get a seedling to pop up and be about the same size, if not a little bit bigger than the plants that you paid more money for and you thought would get a jump start, but you didn't. So that's why I direct sow a lot of things. Now, one thing to make direct sowing easier, this is what I did when I started. Look up pictures of the seeds that you are starting as seedlings. That will help you identify what is something you want to keep in your garden and what is something you want to pull. Aside from that, you can see these are less expensive seeds. I did go to the website that provides the seeds to the store because it says it on the back, and it redirected me to another website. Now this website that it redirected me to sells seeds for $2 on up a packet. Same company, same seeds, so I figure why not? I mean, you know, if I can get a thing for 1/8 the price, why not? These are all non-GMO, it says as well, so, you know, let's see here. It's not like they're bad seeds. I think, and I'm not 100% sure on this, but my thought is the expensive seeds that they don't sell, they probably take back and repackage. Of course, in the cheaper seeds, you get less seeds, and my thought is they're a little older because they don't germinate as well all the time. But if you double or triple up the seeds, you can always pull one out or even transplant it if you catch it early enough. That's about it. My only other tip for sowing seeds is make sure you do not let them dry out. I did soak these for 24 hours before, and that does help speed up germination. It helps break down the seed coat, the shell on the seed, and helps the little seedling emerge quicker. So those are my tips for outdoor gardening, aside from, the reason I put flowers, I don't know if I said this already, but I'll say it again. The reason I put flowers in my garden, my vegetable garden, is because they do attract pollinators. More pollinators means more crops. More crops means the time and effort you put into it will be rewarded. You can do some selective pruning on some crops and get a similar effect, like my squash here. Last year what I did is I took off some of the bigger, larger, messed up leaves, and I did have quite a bit of a bug problem last year, so the infested ones as well. And I was able to get a couple more months out of my squash and attract more pollinators, because when you take off these lower leaves here, you can see that leaf, if you go under, is blocking quite a bit of blooms or buds, and without that you can see the crown of the plant more, and if you can see it, the bugs can see it more. They are bright yellow flowers, so they do attract them. Aside from that, I guess just thank you for watching.